We have now our series finale with Doleboy, getting ourselves with Villa into a European final, our first one for 52 years. Welcome back for the final time of Doleboy in FM22. Maybe it won't come back next year. I'm not 100% sure. I think I might do some other stuff. But that's a bridge we can cross at a later date. What we can cross now is to the Europa League final. It wasn't, unfortunately, the Champions League. But with the release of F1 Manager and our Duisburg save that we've got going on, which eventually we might get into the Bundesliga in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 seasons. Possibly. It's kind of unmanageable for me to run all three. So I thought it was a fitting end, if we're going to bring it home early, to still be a European final. So we've got Clermont-Foot away from home against Mikel Arteta, who actual Villa have played against recently, but the less said about that, the better. We have ourselves, as you can see, 6th in the league. So we've played 3 games since, which I'll fly through very shortly. But just before we do that, if you could do me the favour of liking and subscribing, show support on the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. And it does help get my little face out there. And as a little follow-up as well, if you are interested in F1 or more saves, then do make sure you jump over to them. Because I'm having a wonderful time with Aston Martin. Ridiculously hard. Didn't quite realise how bad they were in the game until I started, and they just utterly dreadful. But we move. We've played 3 games. The first of which was away against Norwich. We definitely had the better of the game. Should have won, didn't. Came away with a 0-0. We then had our final home game of the season. Relatively convincing, I'd say. But it was a 1-0. Either way, we got the points. The XG was very similar, but the shots, we were all over them in that regard. So I'm not quite sure how we've managed to have so many shots and have such a poor XG. But either way, it put us into our final game of the season against West Ham. And at this point, fortunately, we did have a 4-point cushion against West Ham. So regardless of what happened in this, they weren't able to overtake us. We could, however, have squeezed up to 5th, providing that Arsenal didn't win. Unfortunately, we didn't even uphold our part of that. We lost 2-1, missed a penalty, scored a goal, and then Sadler getting a goal for West Ham either side of that. You will notice as well, Arsenal didn't even win their points. So, had we won the game, we would have actually got ourselves ahead of Arsenal and into 5th place, and we would have guaranteed Europa League football for next season, as averse to Conference League. But it is what it is, unfortunately. And even more annoyingly, I've just realised, West Ham won the cup. So they actually stole the last Europa League position anyway. So there's the frustration. Nechiri finished 3rd top scorer, 3rd in average rating, and 2nd with the assists was Trent. So there's a few decent bits there. But regardless of where we finished in the league, we can guarantee Champions League football with a win in the Europa League. So, to do that, we're going to build our little team and see what we've got. So, in goal, obviously, we're going to go with the strongest of the two, Mads Danielson, who is actually wanted by Clermont-Foot, funnily enough. We do have another goalkeeper here who has got quite a bit of potential. So, we might let him go, we might not, I'm not 100% sure. The centre-backs, obviously, we need Favasuli and Machalenko on the outside, with João Vieira in the middle, because they're all the best of friends. The right-sided fullback, we're going to go with Gerrard. On the left, we're going to go with Trent. We do have Estrada that we can bring on as well, but we'll go with those 2 from the off. Centre mids, unfortunately, we don't have Hugendorm because he has got an injury at the moment. I might put him into the squad, throw him on for the last few minutes if it looks very comfortable. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, we're going to put in Oliver and Trujillo as centre mids. We might bring on Gavin Lewis instead. I'm not sure. But either way, we're going to put both those on the bench. Out on the right, we'll go Lafarge. Left, we will have Milosevic, who, stats-wise, isn't the best for the position. Performance-wise, he's absolutely insane. He's played 8 games in the Conference League, scored 7. And he's played, what's that, 8 games in the Europa League and scored 5. So, of his 14 goals he's scored, 12 of them have been in European football. So, he'll do a goodness for us. And we'll throw Nechiri as our striker and we'll move him to an advanced forward. Because why the hell not? We'll let Mr. Benchman choose the unpicked players. And we will just throw Hugendorm in as well if we get a chance. Jake Mooney can get in the bin. No one cares about him. Clermont-Foot coming in with pretty poor form, to be fair. It's a 4-2-3-1 for him. Joe Geldhart up top. So I was a little bit apprehensive of our form considering we lost the final game of the season. But they're coming in with 3 losses. So it's cool. Perfectly fine. We'll skip through this. It is a big day for the Stevens household. It's me. My mum actually went to the Rotterdam final in '82 when we won the thing. And now I'm leading the team out to another European Cup final. Admittedly, it's in a fictional realm. But don't worry about that. It all counts. Gerrard nods it in towards Oliver. Lafarge over to Milosevic. I thought he was going to start off with a goal. Gerrard with the throw on the right side. Short to Lafarge. And back to Gerrard. I'm not going to comment on Gerrard being at Villa. Don't worry about it. What on earth was that header? Where's Trent came from there? And he's beaten this fella in the air. Not even going to attempt to say that. I mean, it's just splendid, isn't it? Short to Lafarge. Knocks it back into him. Gets the ball out of his feet. Bashes it towards the back post. And Trent comes flying in. Goes, have a bit of that. Top corner. What on earth are you saying? It's 1-0. Elvis Marley, this fella is. Elvis Marley. It's like they've gone, who are 2 of the best musicians? Yeah, just call him that. Brilliant. They've got Elton Mercury on the other side as well. That was a struggle, in case you're wondering. Don't know why I struggled to think of 2 people that are music. Pedroza, Forsyth. That's our Forsyth that we sold to these after we bought Brandon Hunter from them. I forgot his name. I don't even know if he's in the squad. Let me have a look. He is. I might bring Brandon Hunter on as well. That's our 3rd centre mid I might bring on. There's only 2 positions. Gerrard's into the area. Oh, Bellows kicked him. There's only one thing to do, isn't there, really? It's a final. Of course, there's only one thing to do. We give someone ridiculous the penalty. So, who's taking it? I did bring Geraldo off the bench in one of our games and made him take a penalty. I'm not going to do it this time. However, just for the whoops and gigs of it, we'll give it to Danielson. And if he doesn't score and then they score, then it's my own fault, isn't it, really? Ref, what are you saying? Is it a penalty? Of course it is. Stop wasting everyone's time. Award it. Let my goalie score it. We'll all have a laugh. Happy days. Go on, Danielson. He steps up. Oh, that is beautiful. First goal of the season. Who'd have thought? I must say that was an absolutely cracking pen. I don't know why I'm on this camera angle now. I think I should be on TV instead. There we go. Geldhart with the free kick. He puts it just over. Should have got my goalie to take it. Alexander Arnold to Lafarge at the back post. Oh, we're having a bloody wonderful time in this game. It's nearly half time. We're 2-0 to the good. And you know what? We've just looked comfortable. So we do have some tired legs in the former Gerrard. So I'll keep my eye on him. Might bring him off on the hour mark. But the ball is with Clermont-Foot. Masson back to Pedroza, all the way back to his goalkeeper. We're going to pick up that loose ball because it's hashed forward by the goalkeeper. It's just FM things. Oliver is heading down towards that right side. Back to Gerrard with his three puffs. He's good again. He's bloody good. He just is good in Europe. He just is. It's Gerrard's 2nd assist of the game as well. Oh, it's fantastic, this is. So we have taken off Trujillo. We've brought in Gavin Lewis because he came through the academy at Villa. God, I thought we were going to score again there. Came through the academy at Villa. He's been with us since he was 15, at the very least. So we're bringing him on, give him some game time. We've also not been able to bring off Gerrard because Estrada isn't on the bench. I think he might actually be injured, thinking about it. But Marcos Ruggiero... What was my goalkeeper doing then? He literally ran away from the net. They've got a corner on their left-hand side. Marcos Ruggiero puts it in towards the far post, and it's headed away by Machalenko. So we've got about 15 minutes left at the moment. Joe Geldhart is pushing forward. He's got the 3 centre-backs in front of him. Good work. Guy in the middle just kind of forces towards him, forces him to go wide, slows the attack down a bit. Giselle, what's going on? I think he was offside. That was odd. I thought they were celebrating the goal, but without the flashing commentary. Lafarge, he wasn't able to get to the ball. So Giselle is on it once more. Gerrard, I thought Gerrard managed to get possession then because he was stood between their player and the ball. Wasn't the case. Giselle back to Ruggiero. And a brilliant interception from Favasuli. It's because he's quite good. He's going to head down that right side, but he's got no oxygen left in his body, so he can't do anything. Danilo, Ruggiero, Geldhart towards El Adrissi on their far side. brilliant ball across. Danielson collects with some sort of weird drop thing, but fine, we'll just pretend that that's a normal thing that people do. I've just realised that I'm being a bit of a dumbass. I was looking for Estrada's name to highlight when I tried to take Gerrard off, forgetting that I needed to swap him over with Trent. Estrada's on the bench. He's been there for ages. So he's on the pitch now. We've brought him on, swapped Trent over to the right side. I've also brought Tuanzebe in for Fazuli because he was quite tired. And Tuanzebe played for us in the Championship. So it's a good little growth for him as well. But either way, we've won the cup. So we get to see the wonderful dance. Splendid. It's not, as I say, it's not the cup that we did want to end, but a European cup, nonetheless, it's perfect. I'm probably going to carry the save on offline. So if you are desperate to find out what's going on, I might either do an update video after a few years, or I might just post some stuff on my Twitter. So follow on there if you want to. But we've had the little dance. Have we got a cartwheel? Anyone? Here he is. Beautiful. Love to see it. Way! That was my celebration. Ticker tape. Deserved it. Look at that. Oh, wonderful. I don't know how much I'm going to put into this. Just a D. Favasuli is a D. Yes, we paid an obscene amount of money for him. I get that. But look at the state of him. I'm not doing this. They're going to annoy me if I carry on. Premier League. They wanted Europa League football. That's exactly what it delivered. They give us a C+. Fair enough. Champions League. They wanted to reach first knockout round. We didn't reach that, unfortunately. We dropped down to the Europa League, which was a benefit to us. So don't forget that we could have actually knocked Real Madrid out if we'd have got performances in both of these, which we actually did in the games, but we just didn't get the results, unfortunately. But we dropped down to the Europa League. They says, okay, give us semi-final. I went, shut your face. You're having it. We won every game. Battered them. The FA Cup, they wanted the third round. We give them semi-final. We didn't. That's a complete lie. They wanted the semi-final. We got knocked out. We're focusing on Europe. That's what it was. And likewise, they said it was not important. We actually went out in the second round. So we move from them. The biggest win was a 7-0 against Victoria Pilsen. A match to remember was a 4-0 win against Chelsea. And the goal of the season was from Hugendorm in, I believe that's the second leg. So we'll fly in. We'll just have a little look at that. So it was from the first leg. So Hugendorm's the guy that scores it. So we'll keep our eyes on him. It's going to come back to him now, and he just bends that into top corner. That's a little bit tasty, that is. We are still just Continental 4 stars. No sponsorships or anything of that nature. All the money's gone up. The only one we've had is a 10 million decrease in broadcast revenue, but that's more than covered with sponsorship and competition money. Merchandise, 12.18 million, and our shirt sales are going to Lafarge, Nechiri, Hugendorm, Lewis, and Luis Flavio, randomly. And our best 11, according to this, is Danielson, Favasuli, Machalenko, Vieira, Arnold, Estrada, Lewis, Hugendorm, Milosevic, Orrit, and then Lafarge. Orrit squeezing in there is a bit mad. Fair play, lad. And our accolades, the most goals in the match was Nechiri with 4. Absolutely battered him. Most assists by a player in the season, 16 with Trent. Most player of the match awards in the season was Lafarge with 8. He's our player of the season and young player of the season is Nechiri. Signing of the season was Milosevic because he's awesome. Thank you very much, second yellow card. It was his scouting thing that got it. He didn't buy him for me. Goal of the season we've just seen. Top goal scorer in Thierry. Most assists, which we just covered, and most player of the matches as well. Highest average rating was Favasuli with a 7.4. It's pretty strong for a centre-back. And most passes completed was his centre-back partner with 69 out of 90, which is always fun. We've won the Europa League. It's highlighted a 2-2 for some reason, of all the games it could have highlighted. And they say it's important to get off to a good start, but it rings true as ever for Aston Villa. Thanks, Danny Phillips. I don't know what necessarily was more important about the start. The league itself was okay. It was more the European adventure that got the excitement for us. But we move. It's fine. And there we have it. If you have enjoyed the episode and the series as a whole, as I mentioned earlier, like, subscribe. That would be beautiful. There's be some items on the screen as well now, so you can carry on. Go through some other stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for your time.